what I typically do, there's like most things, it's like we got to figure out where you're at. So I got certified through there's an author of a book. He's got a program. It's called the Fix This Next book. It's a great book to figure out like where do I need to where's my most burning fire? What floor of the building is the fire on? So it starts sales, working your way up through like the operations, the order level, and then impact legacy long term. And so there's a lot of people that are thinking about these upper levels farther into the future where they need to go and what they're thinking they got to do to get there, but they really need to start somewhere lower first. So I start with most people. It's like, hey, let's jump on a quick discovery call and figure out like where are you trying to go? And usually, a lot of times, there's some really low hanging fruit of what do you need to fix immediately that could help you solve a few problems before you think about marketing leads, in additional softwares and stuff. And so the most people come to me with, oh, I want this somewhere 3 4 steps down the road, but it's like let's back up back into step one and figure out where you're going. From there, we're going to work. A lot of times we build some custom sell sheets, so whether you have you're doing roofing and you're doing any type of roof replacement, coatings, metals, etc., you're selling those to a client. And so if you don't understand who your ideal client is, we're going to sit down and have a marketing strategy session. We're going to build a little blueprint for, hey, what's this business that you're looking to get more of? And then we're going to build some sell sheets that speak directly to that person. And so for many of the people like the Proline users, um, anybody that's selling shingle roofs, it's like we're selling to one, two, three types of people. We know if you've been doing this long enough, if you go out and meet with homeowners, there's not a lot of variation. We know the things that you're going to ask, the questions that they have, the problems that they face. So let's build your proposal in a way that they can see that you're going to be the person to solve their problems, answer their questions, and they didn't even have to ask you because you've presented and said, listen, I'm so sure that I know answers to these questions because I've done this and I've asked these to so many homeowners have spoken to me about this before. I've got this all here. So when I come out for my site visit, I don't have to spend an hour with you. I can spend the time. You've had a chance to look through a sell sheet that gives me the rundown so that I'm familiar with you and we can kind of get to business a little bit quicker. Once we have that and you've got a sell sheet that really enables your business to pitch to a customer without you in front of them, and we find ways for you to use something like that to drive more business on a website. Let's come up with some ideas of, we built some sell sheets for you, but what can we do to make that a little homeowner's guide so that when somebody comes to your website, they can download this after the contact. And so we'll build some strategies of, here's some low hanging fruit to add value to your customer in that journey of the roof replacement process. Once we know that, hey, we've got a sell sheet that can really sell for us and explain us, then we can start thinking more about the operations and behind the scenes of what are those things that we need to do, whether it's speaking to a customer before they've closed a sale or managing that customer better throughout the operation side of it when they're ready for production. And so that can be a number of things, whether it's implementing some strategy sessions where we're going to work to clean up your process. So it's like, hey, let's see if we can automate some things on your existing system. Are there levers that we could pull, make changes that we could make to make your operation more efficient? And so we'll have discussions about virtual assistants, instant roof quote tools like Roofle, things like that, where we can, if we're building a sandwich, it's like, let's add the lettuce, let's add the tomato, let's add the sauce now. So, but at the beginning, it's like we need that basic of, do you have qualifying questions? Do you have all these things sorted out before we work on a more efficient organization? And then the last part, is usually some sort of continuing strategy where people are like, hey, we've got all that stuff under control. Now I need to find ways to get additional leads for my business besides paying for Google, paying for this. And so people will come to me and say, hey, I want you to create a funnel where I can get some commercial roof coatings customers, or I want specific shingle roofing customers. It's like, okay, we got to go back to that first phase of, let's think through this. If you have all that in place, great, let's start working on building those things. But a lot of times, what people need from me and what I provide for contractors is pay me for some time so I can pick your brain and we can kind of, I don't know, let's use the boxing analogy since that's been pretty present in our industry lately. It's like, let me be your sparring partner for ideas where it's like, hey, I have an ideal process that I've built in my business. You come up to me, we can talk and see what you can do to kind of punch yours up and make yours a little bit better, closer to an ideal process and what we're missing along the way. So
Yeah. So I'm hearing this all starts with going through and building out that marketing, that one page marketing plan.